Tonight, we turn our attention to a challenge that is quietly reshaping the very fabric of Japan. We're not talking about a sudden disaster, but a slow-moving emergency. Japan's declining birth rate. A crisis that unfolds day by day, almost unnoticed by many. This crisis is visible everywhere. In empty classrooms where laughter once echoed, in quiet maternity wards where fewer babies are born, and in playgrounds that sit deserted, their swings still. It's not just a statistic, it's a threat to our society, our culture, and the future we hope to build. Every family feels its weight, and every community senses its impact. Despite years of warnings from experts and policymakers, the problem has only grown more severe, with each passing year bringing new urgency. A nation's strength lies in its people, their energy, their creativity, and their dreams for tomorrow. When births fall below replacement, decline begins. The numbers are more than data. They are a reflection of our collective future. Who will care for our elderly as the population ages and the number of caregivers shrinks? Who will drive innovation, fuel our economy, and support the social systems that so many depend on? These are not distant questions. They're already straining our society, from hospitals to schools to local businesses. Imagine a small town where the local school closes for good, its halls falling silent, its playgrounds overgrown. This is reality in many rural areas, where shrinking populations mean shuttered shops and fading traditions. The loss is more than a building. It's the fading of community, the erosion of hope, and the disappearance of shared memories. At its core, having a child is an act of optimism, a belief in the future, and in the possibility of a better tomorrow. But many young people in Japan don't feel secure or supported enough to start families. High living costs, long work hours, and uncertainty about the future weigh heavily on their decisions. The silence in playgrounds is a warning sign we can't ignore, a symbol of dreams deferred and futures put on hold. The real crisis is the erosion of hope among our younger generation, who wonder if their efforts will ever be enough. Without hope, the future of Japan is at risk. The nation's spirit dims as uncertainty grows. This is not just a demographic issue, it's a crisis of confidence in tomorrow, a challenge to our collective will to shape a better future. The time to act is now. Together, we must find new ways to inspire hope, support families, and ensure that Japan's story continues for generations to come. Let's look at the numbers. The story of Japan's population decline isn't just about statistics. It's about the future of an entire nation and the ripple effects that will be felt for generations. In 2023, Japan's fertility rate hit a record low of 1.20, far below the 2.1 needed for a stable population. This means fewer children are being born each year, and the gap is only widening. Our population shrank by over 800,000 last year, like losing a city in 12 months. Towns and neighborhoods that once bustled with life are now eerily quiet with empty homes and shuttered schools. Nearly 1 in 3 Japanese is over 65. By 2040, it could be 1 in 2 in some regions. The aging population is transforming the very fabric of our society as more people require care and support. Fewer workers must support more retirees, putting immense pressure on social security. The burden on the younger generation is growing heavier, with fewer hands to share the load. Labor shortages are already hitting industries from construction to healthcare. Companies struggle to fill positions, and essential services are stretched thin. Who will run our hospitals, drive our trains, or maintain our infrastructure in the future? The question grows more urgent with each passing year. The high level of service we take for granted is at risk. As staff numbers dwindle, the quality and reliability of daily life could change dramatically. Japan's shrinking workforce threatens our economy and global influence. Businesses face tough choices, and some may not survive the demographic storm. Slower growth could reduce our standing on the world stage. As our population ages and shrinks, our ability to innovate and compete globally is at stake. The world is watching how we respond. Many developed nations face similar futures. Japan is becoming a case study for countries grappling with aging populations. Our struggle is a preview of what's to come elsewhere. Declining school enrollments and empty classrooms are signs of a broader global trend. This is not just a Japanese problem, it's a global warning. The choices we make now will echo far beyond our borders. The demographic crisis is accelerating. Every year the challenge grows more severe, and the window for effective action narrows. The time for action is running out. What we do next will determine not just Japan's future, but perhaps the future of many nations around the world. Why aren't young people having children? In Japan, this question is on everyone's mind, from policymakers to parents. The answer is complex, but for many, it starts with money. Money is a major reason. For today's youth, financial worries are a constant companion, shaping every major life decision. Wages have stagnated for decades while living costs keep rising. Everyday essentials from groceries to rent eat up a growing share of paychecks. Many young people work in secure, low-paying jobs with few benefits. Stable, full-time positions are harder to find than ever before. How can you plan a family when your job isn't secure? The fear of sudden unemployment or reduced hours makes long-term planning feel impossible. The cost of raising a child to university can exceed 30 million yen, a daunting figure for most. This includes not just daily expenses but also education, healthcare, and housing. Education expenses, especially for cram schools, add to the pressure. Many parents feel obligated to provide the best opportunities no matter the cost. Economic anxiety forces young people to delay marriage and children. The uncertainty of the future weighs heavily on their minds. I spoke with Takuya, a contract worker. I want a family, but I can't afford it. My girlfriend feels the same. Their story is echoed by countless others. This is a common story. Dreams of family collide with harsh financial reality. The gap between aspiration and reality grows wider each year. The cycle of delay means many miss the window to have children. Time slips by as they wait for stability that may never come. For many, not having kids isn't a choice. It's a consequence of economic insecurity. The decision is made for them by circumstances beyond their control. The system leaves the younger generation feeling left behind. Hopes for a better future are dimmed by the weight of financial stress. Financial pressure is reshaping life decisions. Choices about marriage, children, and even where to live are dictated by economic realities. The dream of family is slipping out of reach for many. Memories of childhood contrast sharply with today's uncertainty. Without economic reform, the birth rate will keep falling. The consequences will be felt for generations to come. The future depends on supporting young people. Change is urgent. Only by addressing these burdens can Japan hope to build a brighter tomorrow. Japan's demanding work culture is another barrier to family life. Long hours and expectations of total dedication leave little time for raising children. Work-life balance is discussed, but rarely achieved. Men face pressure to be breadwinners, making paternity leave rare. Women are pushed onto the mommy track, forced to choose between career and family. After childbirth, many women can't return to their previous roles or are sidelined. This wastes talent and discourages women from having children. Akari, a former trading company employee, told me, "I tried to make it work, but the pressure was too much. I had to quit." Her story is shared by millions. The system penalizes parents, especially mothers. Companies rarely support flexible work or real family needs. The culture hasn't adapted to modern families. Until work culture changes, birth rates will stay low. Supporting families means changing how we work. The future depends on it. Traditional gender roles still shape family life in Japan. Men are expected to work, women to handle home and childcare, even if both have jobs. In dual-income households, women do 5 times more housework than men. This imbalance is overwhelming and discourages women from having more children. Social pressures reinforce old roles, making equality difficult. Many women see motherhood as a life of sacrifice and unequal burdens. Men are discouraged from being active fathers. These rigid expectations limit choices and stifle modern family life. Until society embraces equality, many will avoid starting families. Change in mindset is essential for Japan's future. The government has launched many initiatives: more daycare centers, cash handouts, expanded parental leave. But for many, these efforts feel fragmented and insufficient. Waiting lists for daycare persist, and childcare workers are underpaid. Cash handouts don't solve long-term financial anxiety. Policies often feel like bandages, not real solutions. Public frustration is growing. People feel unheard and unsupported. A mother from Yokohama told me, "They announce new plans, but nothing changes." The government avoids challenging work culture and gender inequality. Real change means confronting deep-rooted norms and business interests. Without bold reform, families will continue to struggle. The gap between policy and reality must be closed. If nothing changes, Japan faces a future of decline. A shrinking workforce means less growth, innovation, and tax revenue. Rural areas will empty out, cities will lose vibrancy. Young people will bear the burden of supporting a massive elderly population. Public services and social cohesion will suffer. Cultural traditions may fade as new generations disappear. Japan risks becoming a nation looking backward, not forward. But this future isn't inevitable. We must address economic insecurity, work culture, and gender roles. Real change requires a national conversation and collective will. Young people's hopes must become our priority. The decisions we make now will shape Japan's destiny. The time to act is now before silence replaces the sounds of new life.